Wow, it's time for the show. Of course, running a little bit late, but hell, you do that. But this is the first podcast that I'm doing on Gye-Nyame Journey, where it is actually um, being streamed over iHeartRadio. Now I know as Folk Tales for Grown Folks, we already was on our iHeartRadio, but right now, as Gye-Nyame Journey family, this is the first time that we are able to come across on iHeartRadio, and I'm kind of hyped. Well, I was hyped until I found out that iHeartRadio just filed for bankruptcy too. Shit, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I was hyped. You got to realize I had put this podcast up to be on iHeartRadio first, but it was turned down because they said that it had too much music and shit. I was like, man, you know what I'm saying? So for maybe like since Spreaker's partnered up with iHeartRadio, I've been trying to get this one on, but Folk Tales for Grown Folks was able to get on. So, I've been doing Folk Tales for Grown Folks on iHeartRadio for a while. But now this is the actual first Gye-Nyame Journey show that will be on iHeartRadio. That's kind of hot. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of hot. We making moves. But like I said, I was really excited about that shit till I found out iHeartRadio filing for bankruptcy. What can you say to that? I mean, you know what I'm saying? What can you say to that? But I am happy that the shit is on iHeartRadio because Folk Tales for Grown Folks get a lot of listeners through the iHeartRadio piece. So maybe we could grow the fan base on there. Or actually the fan base, not the fan base. The fan base, right? Great Nia to you, Brother Kwame. Oh, we gonna make it a great day. So we had us a successful meeting last night. Got a few things to work out. Of course, we're gonna work it out. We're gonna do what we can. Text just went out, so let's see who all show up. So what I'm gonna have to start doing is I'm gonna start setting a text to hit every day. But the only thing I need it to be a different text every day because I don't want to say the same thing. You know what I'm saying? That part of hip hop is in me. I don't like to repeat a freestyle. You know what I'm saying? So in the morning, sometimes I feel like doing just a basic message. At other times, I want to do a different type of message when I send it out. But I want to say great Nia to the family that are present and that are not present. I want to say peace to those that's coming out in the future. That means that you're catching it after the live broadcast. So what we're going to do what we do every morning about this time. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna lift them up. So grab your glass, grab your water, right? I know y'all used to be having the little fancy bottles, but I'm slumming right now. I had to get my car fixed. So we're going to be drinking out of the jug for a little while, right? Spring water, though. They say this spring is a natural spring in Greenville, Tennessee. Anybody out there around Greenville? Is there a spring down there? You know what I'm saying? I don't smell nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because, the spring down here in Ohio, there's a spring around. We have a spring in Ohio. The water kind of has a smell. As a matter of fact, maybe I need to arrange a trip down there where we go down there and get some at spring water. Shouts out to my auntie Loretta Burrows. Thank you for joining us. Shouts out to Brother Shaka. Of course, shouts out to Brother Kwame. It's somebody else out there. Come on now, but get your glasses. Let's get it. It's time for the morning drink. But before we get started, I need to let you know you are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Media. When she ready, she ready. Good God Almighty. All right, this is a Heart of a Silver production. And of course, you know this is the Daily Toast. Where we strive to blow up your old paradigms. Oh, the explosion is tripping this morning. Take your breath and drink your water. Take a breath and drink your water. Take your breath and drink your water. Take your breath. Drink, 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 drink. Drink, 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 drink. Now lift your glass and drink your water. Lift that glass and drink your water. Lift your glass and drink your water. Lift your glass. Drink, 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 drink. Think I will. Drink, 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 drink. Now move your body and drink some water. Move your body, drink some water. Move your body, drink some water. Move your body. Drink, 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 drink. Drink, drink, drink. Went down the wrong pipe. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Now raise your glass. Drink, 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 drink. Drink, 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 drink. Let's run through it. Take a breath and drink your water. Lift your glass and drink your water. Move your body, drink some water. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Breathe, drink, move, live. It's become a habit. Drink, breathe, move, live. Messed up. So, first I want to say good morning to everybody. Great Nia. Are you getting your water? Are you drinking water? Come on, family. Let's drink it up with me. Bro, this do taste kind of springy. I hope this ain't some. I hope Kroger ain't just put some sink water and call it spring water, because you know they do shit like that. You do have companies doing shit out like that. So lift your glass. Lift your glass. Lift your glass. Lift your glass and drink some water. Lift your glass and drink some water. Lift your glass and drink your water. Lift your glass. Drink, 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 drink. Drink, 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 drink. Lift your glass. Lift your glass. Lift your glass. All right, family. Now Now, so remember here, Gye-Nyame, we say it only takes 4 things to stay healthy for your entire life. 1, proper breathing. Making sure that you keep your breathing properly. Not breathing through your mouth, but breathing through your nose. We did shows about this about last year sometime, but we're gonna have to revisit it. But breathing through your nose, pulling it all the way down, using your abdomen, allowing the air to flow in and to totally fill up the lungs. Right? Now, and then every now and then take some time to hold your breath. And we're going to talk about the importance of that, because carbon dioxide also has some use within the body. Now, not a lot of it, but just enough of it for it to trigger some stuff to start happening in your body. So we need to practice proper breathing and also proper breath retention. That's why I say, take your breath and drink your water. All right, now my computer want to update while y'all on here. We ain't going to have that. All right, because you already know how my computer do. Should it be updating for 3 days? It's like I be thinking it went to Cuba or something for vacation. I'm like, all right, so we're going to take our breath, right? First step. Second breath is making sure we're getting our proper amounts of water. Now, for those that don't know what the proper amount of water is, take half your weight and convert it to ounces. So if you weigh 100 pounds, you should be drinking 50 ounces of water a day. Why so much water, Brother Hatem? First off, you're 75% water. Somewhere between 70 and 75% water, right? But a lot of us, we're 25% water, 75% coffee. 25% water, 75% Pepsi. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're replacing the water. And water helps our body clean itself out. Water helps our body convert our food to energy. Water helps move some of the impurities out. Water helps move, water, it's liquid in your blood. You know what I'm saying? Your brain needs water. So by us staying properly hydrated, and family, I have to stress this, because it shocked me how many diseases are caused by us not breathing and by us not just hydrating. Breathing and hydrating. All right? Those are the first 2. The next one is, and listen very closely, eating a culturally appropriate diet. Eating a culturally appropriate diet. I'm not saying give up your pizza. I'm not saying give up your Oreos. I'm not saying give up your Chinese food. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that every now and then, and you need to increase the every now and then, you need to eat a culturally appropriate diet. What's that, Brother Hatem? You need to look at where your ancestors are from. And you need to plug into some of the foods that your ancestors ate. I'm just saying. Why? Because I want y'all to think about this. Culture is the blanket that we wrap around us to protect us in this world. It's through our culture that we were able to survive. So it's certain foods that our cultures develop relationships with. I want you to think about this. Every culture has a staple food that they surround themselves with, right? And the importance of that is this. We talk about economics. If there's no staples in the culture, it's almost impossible for you to develop economics. A staple is something that your culture needs and that your culture produces. And your culture has produced a diet. Your culture has produced certain foods. You know what I'm saying? Now, if we was wise, we would identify one of those foods that we could readily have available, that we could readily develop and grow or create in our community, and only buy that from us. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? So for example, I did a show and I said, I'm gonna do something that hasn't been done anywhere else in the world. I brought 4 stable foods onto my broadcast, and people like, oh, that's not even a, what do you mean? From 4 different cultures, I was able to bring in this how fluent we are right now. This is how when you compare it to the rest of the world, this is how wealthy we are. I was able to put 4 staple foods from 4 different cultures, from 4 different places in the world, right on my show. Maybe it was 3. I did rice, right? Cornmeal, yam, and it was something else that I put up there. You know what I'm saying? Now, I ain't talking about the Armeg, I'm talking about the African yam, right? But what I'm trying to get y'all to understand is this. If we want to stay healthy, we got to plug into the food that came up out of our culture, because it's like the food was a gift, is a gift from God. If you look at the myths of the Native Americans, you look at African myths, right? You look at, when you really start looking at, you start looking at certain foods that were given to people as a gift from the Creator. So, in Native American tradition, it's going to sound crazy, one of the gifts was corn, the other one was tobacco. In Africa right now, up to this day, they have yam festivals. The yam was a staple food. You know what I'm saying? Throughout Asia and certain parts of Africa, rice was a staple food. What was the other staple food that I brought out? Chia seeds. That was deep South America. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what are the staple foods? What is the cultures that flowing through you? Can you feed them? Because when you feed that, you're feeding your ancestors. You know what I'm saying? Talking about your deep, deep ancestors, the ones that you don't even remember, but the ones that's flowing in your DNA. And that food activates certain things within us. And those things that it activate are health. All right, so that's 3. Last one is movement. Making sure you getting up and you moving. You getting up and you walking. You know what I'm saying? Don't make that call, get up and make that walk. You know what I'm saying? Add activity to your life. And preferably culturally appropriate activities, moving and stuff like that. But we'll talk about that later. So now, on to last night's show. Was marvelous. First off, I want to apologize to Lady J. I didn't mean to make you mad by talking about your flip phone. I didn't know that you was that sensitive about your flip phone, and I apologize if I made you feel bad because I talked about your flip phone. See, she just jumped off the line. I'm just playing. Ain't nothing wrong with a flip phone. You know what I'm saying? But the proverbs from last night were, power concedes nothing without a demand. It never did and it never will. We'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Kwame says, Mexico, black beans and corn provide all that is needed to give a complete nutritional meal. See? Staples, right? Honoré Del Belzac, it is easy to sit up and take notice. What is difficult is getting up and taking action. And last one, invite people into your parlor and they will come into your bedroom, Sierra Leone. So we want to, I just want to kind of just share those, right? I see Shaka been getting up. I'm impressed, right? All right, so now I'm going to finish this water and we're going to get into our libations, all right? I think that was 3 glasses, right? Let's do one more. I don't like this water. I don't like this water. Now, I've been experimenting with spring water. This spring water I don't like. I'm not buying it. I was about to cuss. You know what I'm saying? Don't like it. Right? Why spring water? Because, back in the day, you know what I'm saying, when the world was clean, we was drinking spring water. We wasn't drinking distilled. We was drinking spring water, rain water, well water. You know what I'm saying? So, I like the aquifers and the spring water. But this water right here, I ain't liking it that much. Well, so now it's time for the toast. Time for us to pull up the stars of the show. I need to pull out my ambrosia because I want to sample this. See how it's aging once again. There you go, right there. I see the activity still going on, so I'm thinking it's been sitting long enough so I can put the top on because I want to test this because I got some. An elder ordered some ginseng, and I got it down the basement. And by me sampling this right here, it let me know how my ginseng is doing down the basement without having to sample. Because like when you got it, when somebody order it, you can't be sipping on it all the time. So you got to have other testers so that you can see how your brew is doing. And I told y'all this one right here, I wasn't extremely happy with it first, but now as it's maturing from the last time I tasted it, it was very dry. But I just figured out how to make it dry, and I figured this out last night when I was drinking on the show because what I did was I have a mixture that I used last night that's part ambrosia, more green tea. And it was extra dry, right? Extra dry. And I'm like, uh-oh. See, so, like I said, as we do this brewing process, we're going to come up with different methods to be able to stimulate different effects with the taste. And the longer that we do it, like Shaka's starting his brewing, I'm starting my brewing. We gonna share notes, and just like when I started brewing and first starting with the wine, me and my brother we was doing it, and I would bring samples up to his crib, and he would have samples of stuff that he was doing, and we would experiment. And this is how we get better at stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's a friendly like competition, and it's like boom, we're trying to see what we can, how we can better it. You know what I'm saying? This is why I was excited when Shaka said he wanted it. I can't wait for Tiana to let me know when she's ready for her SCOBY, because then we're gonna be able to experiment and sample each other's stuff, and and sip and and have people come in and taste it, and just really build a whole culture around what we're doing, right? Hell, shit, because I got enough SCOBYs. I got enough SCOBYs for at least another 50 brewers at this point in time. And once Shaka really gets down with once he starts doing it because he ain't reached to the point where he gonna be looking at a SCOBY and it's gonna be about that thick. And you're gonna have to go in there and peel them off and have a separate bucket, and then you move from one bucket to two. From 2 buckets to 3, from 3 buckets to 5, and you like, dang. Uh-oh, Miss Tiana Finch just came in the house. Good morning, sister. How you doing? Great Nia to you. So we lift up our glass to the Creator by whatever name you choose to call that Creator. You know what I'm saying? We lift it up, and we salute by whatever name you choose to call that power, that force, that grace, that love. We lift up our glass to that first source, to that first ancestor, and we say, Ashe. From there, we move on to the stars of the show. and that is our ancestors. So without any further ado, I call on them. And once again, family, like I said, I can make the list available so that you could toast at your leisure. And also, I would just suggest that when you get the list, I will make it so that you can cut and paste and fix it. Put your ancestors first. I read my ancestors first, then I read everybody else's ancestors. Well, all these now are officially my ancestors. But you know what I'm saying? I start with my direct bloodline, then I start spreading off into the rest, to our extended family, right? You know, and and like I said, and it was very important to our culture. Actually, when it comes down to, when you look at cultures worldwide, a lot of them don't publicize it, but you know what I'm saying, ancestor veneration was very important. You know what I'm saying? Because our ancestors keep us tied into our culture. Keep us tied into our culture. Remind us to stay culturally appropriate. I was just thinking, man, and like I said, we have to work constantly with our ancestors in our mind, because they keep us on task, they keep us on point, they keep us on today, Nia, they keep us on purpose, right? Because you start thinking about the sacrifices that some of them made so that we could be here. And I'm not talking about the major sacrifices like catching a bullet, but I'm talking about the, possibly giving up their dream. You know what I'm saying? To make sure that you were able to, if not all of y'all, some of y'all know what I mean. Some of us have had ancestors that made major sacrifices. And one of my favorite proverbs say, those who are not willing to sacrifice will not be fulfilled. And in a sense, family, what we have to understand is that in some form or fashion, each and every last one of us is the fulfillment of a prayer of one of our ancestors. If not one, many of our ancestors. And because we are existing in the now, we have the responsibility, right, to push their efforts forward. We're standing on their shoulders proudly, right? And we're doing everything within our power, whether we're working with children, whether we're shaping ideas, whether we're working with clay, whether we're cooking in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? We are the fulfillment of one of our ancestors' prayer and dream. You know what I'm saying? So, just to keep us on point, because, it's going to, with these welfare food boxes, it's going to get crazy. You know what I'm saying? So we might all have to go. Because like I said, at one point in time, I was talking about doing the Gye-Nyame project. You know what I'm saying? It was called the Gye-Nyame project. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, I live in an apartment complex. In Columbus, I don't know about other cities, but in Columbus, there's a whole bunch of these complexes. I'm like, we need to buy one. Move everybody out, update all of the space, and then just bring like-minded people in. I know people are like, that's dangerous. You shouldn't have just like, well, I have found that even some of the people I think alike, we still don't, you know what I'm saying? We still have conflict and shit. So, you know what I'm saying? Because that's called a community, right? So bringing everybody together, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, have it in one space and stop being scared, you know what I'm saying? Because they're going to get us. You know what I'm saying? Because the only way, because I want you to think about this, family, before you even get reading to this. I want you to think about war. I want you to think about strategy, right? If you want, and Malcolm X said it best, when you want to weaken something, you pour something into it. Like when you got your coffee, I like my coffee black, but other people don't like their coffee black. You know what I'm saying? So they put a little cream in it to make it weak. They put a little sugar in it. You know what I'm saying? You got to do things to kind of separate the the quality of something, to kind of weaken it. So, you know, what they do with us, they make us believe that we ain't supposed to live together. And if we're living together, you know what I'm saying, we're dropping some standards and we bring the value of shit down and stuff like that. And we got to kind of shift that mind state because that's part of the strategy. You know what I'm saying? That's part, I mean, and like I said, and I'm not knocking the hustle because I understand. You know what I'm saying? Because if I was in a position, I know that I would be doing the same thing because I would want my kids to stay on top. So I can't even be mad. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's kind of silly for us to be mad because we would be doing the same thing. If I had the ability to hand the world over to my progeny, I'm gonna do everything in my lifetime to make sure that I'm able to do that. Even cheat. I'm going to make sure they got a head start. Isn't that what a parent's supposed to do? I'm going to make sure that they're able to do better than I did. I'm going to make sure that they're secure. If I'm able to do that, why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you do that? You know what I'm saying? Actually, it's suicide not to do it. So for us to honestly think that somebody, like Amos Wilson said it best, when it comes down to it, and you and somebody else have to decide whether their children gonna eat or your children gonna eat, who you think they gonna pick? And what type of fool are you if you think that shouldn't happen? So I'm just saying. So when we start calling our ancestors, we got to realize we're standing on their shoulders, and we got a lot to do, a whole lot to do. You know what I'm saying? But there is a lot of work being done. I always want to bring that up. You know what I'm saying? With some, because I fall into the negative shit, and I be needing y'all to snap me out of it. Kwame, you not on your job and falling into my negative shit. You're supposed to help me process my emotions. You know what I'm saying? So I know where I'm going. Nobody asks me if I'm mad, sad, or scared. You know what I'm saying? I don't, you know. What y'all doing out there, right? But here we go. Miles Brown, Miss Ann, Robin and Tex, Hunter Davis, Herman Brown Sr., Rosalie Tilley, Georgia and William Walter, Chris and Fanny Gaston, Aunt Lena, Uncle Chris, Aunt Fiend, Cleveland and Geneva Brown, Margaret Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis, Alvara Brown, Gina Gaines, Herman Brown II, Barbara Twiggs, Wash Ellis Jr., Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Chapman, John Fallard, Montague Pittman L, No More X, Pet My Ron, Malika Fakir, Dr. Marianne Williams, Scojo Kamal, Elder Farmer, Elder Millie Dixon, Tony Clark, Pastor Yusuf Weston, Elder Ajani, Elder Ron Coleman, Elder Robert Donaldson, Alfred Brofro, Actor Jr., Jay Edwards, Carlisle Harris, Grace Lundy, Inez Harris, William Bill Moss, Phyllis Rose, Sterling and Lucy Wright, Dergo Pullian, the Luxor brother, Miss Edith Brooks Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Frederick Crawley Sr., Miss Jerry Brunson, Mr. Alonzo Johnson, Miss Marie McDowell, Janice Foster, Charles Jordan, Carol Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Triggs, Francis Johnson, Mary Franklin, Jimmy Williams, Daniel Ford, George Gibson, Nana Loretta Clark, Inez McCrae, Fritz Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Derek Randleman, Virginia Rogers, Reverend James Smith, Lois Henderson, Calvin Spratling, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Raymond Walker Sr., Sarah Jane Carter, Michael Ford Jr., Carolyn D. Russell, Susan B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Melvin Dale Hodge Jr., Herman Copeland, Mildred Copeland, Jenny Clay, Bird Beatty, Sarah Ware, Levita Farmer, Agosa Sue, Cheryl Harvey, Aunt Charmaine, Aunt Evelyn, Deolis Hasbury, Harvey Hasbury Sr., Leonard Dickinson, T.C. Islam, Terrell Dunbar, Will Thomas, Sarah Berry, Mark Walsh, Merle B. Thornton, Pearl G. Thornton, Ida Johnson, Florence M. Carter, Joanne Thornton, Erica Tricia Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza Frederick Davis, Mary Elizabeth Rogers, Mary Esther Keachler Reese, Linda Watson Hammonds, Jarrell Giles Watson, Spell, Slimmy, Selvin Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Pearl Moore, Percy Moore Jr., Mildred Owens, Booker T. Bowden, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stover, Hilda Pearson, Sturgeon Thornton, Richard Thornton, Lavinia Hall, Freeman Bankster, Mary Moss, Ophelia Peacock, Willie Thornton, Napoleon Kennedy, Mark Ramsey, Paul Ramsey, Matt Ramsey, David Ramsey, Charles E. Thornton, Frankie Quells, Urania Thornton, Bernice Quells, Ernestine Jackson, Frankie Johnson, Teresa Mormon, Leon Johnson, Charles Bell, Vivian Ramsey, Essie Johnson, Del Rita Johnson, Leon Johnson, James W. West Sr., James Parham, Dana Jones, Henry Wells, James Farmer, Mary Chavez, Leon Grace, Bessie Johnson, Hattie Levester, Mary Moreland, Paul Moreland, Elder Caleb, Rosemary Martinier, Elder Amatet Wellman, Fred Douglas Triggs Sr., Delma Triggs, Delma Triggs, Thomas and Lula Berry, Lacey and Eleanor Howe, Frankie Russell and Davis, Fred Douglas Triggs II, Vina Triggs, Reverend Eddie Moore, Helen Fuller, Eugene Jackson Sr., Richard Ellis, Silas Alexander, Charles Maxwell, Percy May Alexander, Arthur Reynolds, Stanley Lockhart, Ricky Lockhart, William Lockhart, Woodrow Lockhart, Brendan Porter, Deacon Hargrove, Carlos Sawyer, Andrew Parker, Doris Donald, Ellis Murphy, Brother Renee salutes his Uncle Joe Davis, Sister Jill and Brother Allende salutes Timothy Butler, Brother Anubis salutes Gene Holmes, Dana Jones, Peter Charles, Christy Nichols, Cardinal Robinson, and Rosemary Charles. I make a correction. He added these people to his list because he was one of the first ones to turn in his stuff. Sister Tiandra salutes Ada Pearl, Bob Ingalls, Jack Wallace, Warren P. Finch, Tim Ingalls, Audrey Finch, and William Billingsley Jr. Oh man, Kwame, I'm hurt. But that is a true possibility. I often looked in the mirror and asked myself that. Brother Deshaun salutes his mother Jennifer Sensenball. We add Hazel Gasson, Jerry Brantley, Brian Watson Jr., Kanika Parsons. Shouts out. Sister Aisha salutes Stacy Trice, Frank Smith, Mother Bertha, Michael Leonard, David Brown. Miss Ford salutes Ruth Carter, June Cox, Ruth and Paul Cox, Ronald Irving, Judy Hubbard, Irene Johnson, Francis Booth Jefferson. Dr. D salutes Dan Wilkinson Sr. Sister Jackie salutes Emma McClendon. And, oh man, yesterday was Jackie's her twin daughter's birthday, so we want to send a shout out to them. We added to the community list Jerry Doyle, Amina Robinson, Patricia Williams, Shabaka Toure, Sister Madonna salutes her mother and father, Donna Hill and Richard Gleavis. Sister Cynthia salutes Lee Irby, Tommy Irby, Boy Irby, Jim Gaucher, George and Haley Johnson, Archie and Margaret Armstead. Sister CeeLo salutes Archie Beck and Anna McGill. Brother Santana salutes Aunt Becca. Elder Greg Arnold salutes Alice Arnold, Arthur Arnold, Hattie Reed, Charles Reed. Sister Shelley I salutes Eula and Andrew Baker, Patricia and Edwin Brooks, Gwendolyn and Bob Hatch, Kimball Vernon, Bradley Kim, Janie Harriet Tubman Cates, Spencer Sturgis, Sally Mae Baker, Ethel Baker, Creola Baker, Geneva Baker, Aaron, Nino Baby Hatch, Hatch Sr., Mally Miller, Ozzie Hatch, Dad Cleveland, Mother Gibson. Brother Quabanah salutes Alex Nixon. Elder Bowie salutes John Bowie. Elder Cedric salutes Lester and Rachel Sanders. Sister Janelle Ross salutes Doretha Ross, Riola Ross, Robert Nelson, Francis Stevenson, and Leroy Stokes. Elder Ori Pianki salutes Neely Johnson, Fletcher Swan, and Maddie and Charlie Scott. Charlie Stevenson salutes Vivian Stevenson. Cassandra Holloway salutes Mona Ann. Elder Phyllis salutes Martha Ford Dawson. Big Mama, Nanny Harris, Eva Ford, James Hairston. Sister Enya salutes Margaret Towns and Mary Williams. Sister Heather salutes Leroy Q. Heath Sr. Patar Capshaw Moore salutes Albert Moore. And Yeye Motley salutes Miss Manella, Albert Motley, Geraldine Elizabeth, Douglas Thompson, and Erlington Houston. Alright. Alright, so I gotta remember to pull up. Maybe we got some more. So if I miss your ancestors, by all means, or miss somebody, post it up. If I pronounce the name wrong, please correct me so I can make sure that I'm giving our ancestors the respect they deserve. But it's the thought and the effort that really makes a difference, because we lift our glass and we toast our ancestors because we realize health for African is being forgotten. So we never want to forget those that came before. So we lift the glass and we say Ashe. From there, family, we move to the present moment. Of course, y'all know we are on Nia, and we well into the toast, so I won't pull that out. But this is Nia, Purpose Day, family. Do the day on purpose. You do the day. Don't allow the day to do you. All right. Get on purpose. Get that focus. Get that laser like, and look for places where we are demonstrating purpose as a community, and start posting them up. You see somebody on purpose. You see somebody following their purpose. You see a group doing, focused on purpose. Take a picture, post it up on the Gye-Nyame timeline. You know what I'm saying? Because we doing our principles 365, right? So we lift up our glass to the present moment. We say Ashe. From there, family, move to our future. We toast our children, our children's children. So we toast them in advance so that, when we become ancestors, and because they seen us out here hustling, making the toast, they see us getting up, they're going to be able to go on and salute us, right? In their own fashion. Like we came up with the toast. Yes, ma'am, I'm at the school today. Matter of fact, we don't have school, so yeah, I'm going to be there all day. I got to catch up with, oh, man. Let me just say this. I love my children, man, but we got some work, family. You know what I'm saying? We got kids protesting gun violence all over the country. I got fights breaking out. You know what I'm saying? My kids is totally oblivious to well, I'm put it this way. The 10% take up. So let me break it down. In most environments, you got the 85%, right? And it goes both ways. You got the 85% that mainly do what they supposed to do, right? But you got that 10% that make a choice, right? To do the contrary, to do the opposite, to take all of the focus, to take all of the resources. And I'll get back to that. And you got 5% that can't help themselves. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's some type of mental issue, whether it's, it's 5%, right? That kind of can't really help themselves. So what's crazy is that that 10 and that 5% ends up burning up 85% of the resources. I'm looking at this, I'm seeing this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's the 15% that takes 85% of your concentration. You know what I'm saying? And in business, it's sort of the same way. You got 20% or 15%, you know what I'm saying, using up all the resources. So we have to kind of start shifting away from the 10% because the 5% can't help themselves. So we got to try to help them. So we might have to throw a little, but we need to at least shine at least 60% of our efforts on that 85% that are doing what they're supposed to be doing. You understand what I'm saying? So the 10% of my school is taking prep, so they are oblivious. But the 85% might know about all the stuff that other young people are doing. Do y'all know that in some states you got young people running for governor? And I'm not talking about young 20. I'm talking about 13, between 13 and 18. I'm trying to tell my kids, I'm like, yo, this your competition. They running for governor at 13 years old. You know what I'm saying? I ain't concerned about it. I know you gonna get them, right? I know that you know. But I'm just trying to let them know. We got to let our children know on purpose. Yo, this is what you got some competition. You know what I'm saying? Because some of this stuff they teach y'all at school is not how life works. You know what I'm saying? You're not all gonna get a ribbon, and everybody ain't trying to see you succeed. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because school. So we toast the children and we say, see, where was you at, Kwame? Where was you at? You know what I'm saying? You ain't even, and my ass sad or scared. You ain't even ask. Didn't even ask. Man, I don't know. I'm about to walk away. What's going on? All right, so we lift up the glass. We toast all of our relations. And last but not least, family, I toast you. Your beautiful and powerful selves. I want to salute each and every last one of y'all. And I want to thank y'all for taking time, whether you taking time with me live or whether you coming back and catching it later. And I want to, say we have finally made it onto iHeartRadio with Gye-Nyame Journey. But this is the same day that I find out we make it on iHeartRadio, I find out our iHeartRadio has applied for bankruptcy protection. Right? They ain't go bankrupt. Bankruptcy protection. So now, this is business, right? They had hedge funds and investors. And basically what these investors do, they come in, they buy a company, and they pile on debt. And I want you to understand, the same way they do in iHeartRadio is in a sense the same way that a lot of our politicians think about the government. They go into the government, they pile on debt, they get their money, they walk away, they're cool. They leave the rest to the future of the company or the future of the country. You know what I'm saying? This is who we dealing with, because I want y'all to think about that, especially those out there with experience in real estate. What do individuals who invest in real estate, what is the mind state? You know what I'm saying? What is the mind state? Not that it's negative, because my aunt sells real estate, right? So I don't want her getting mad at me. But as a real estate investor, right, that's trying to translate his business acumen, or however you say it, his business skill in government, you know what I'm saying? Does the real estate model fit? Because you going in, you buying a property, you fixing it up, you flipping it. And you have a debt-driven business. Especially the way they do it. They do a debt-driven business. So I don't even understand how people could think that you could put somebody whose whole business is based on debt, and he's supposed to do something with the deficit. He's supposed to bring some type of balance. His whole business model, the way he made money, is about borrowing money and flipping something. And then if you look at the history, he might not even be that good at flipping. Hell, we might have been better getting one of those motherfuckers that was just on the TV and doing the TV shows. Flip your house and put them, but yo, that's just me. Why was my student trying to tell me her Google of Ramesses II was, oh, dog, listen. But I mean, if we don't put it out, where they gonna get it? See, at least she had you to come to. Because while she was looking at, Brother Kwame just said, why was my student trying to tell me her Google of Ramesses II was a white man? Listen, at least she had you to come to. You know what I'm saying? Because the whole PC is right now, content is king. So whoever posting that up, you know what I'm saying? We're not posting. You know what I'm saying? We're not writing. I mean, we still books. But you know, our kids right now, listen, my daughter was sitting on Google practicing her spelling words. Google spell umbrella. You know what I'm saying? So our children, you know what I'm saying, are interacting with this, and I don't want us to get into the mind state that old people get into, that the old way was the best. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying, that logic don't fit. I mean, because I get into that mindset too. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, you know what I'm saying? Oh man, these kids are too dependent on computers, and you know, it's making them dumber and blah blah blah. And I'm kind of guilty of that too. But I want you to understand that they said the same shit about books. A hush falls over the crowd, right? And if that philosophy is true, you know what I'm saying? They said the same shit about lighters. Now, I'm not going to get no damn lighter. I'm going to be striking these matches. And before matches, they was talking about, yo, if you can't rub two sticks together and start your own fire, you're going to have problems. Y'all using that newfangled stuff called matches. You know, what happens if the match factory stop working? You understand what I'm saying? So we got that. We got to kind of bring up. We got to catch up. You know what I'm saying? It's good to be able to work with old technology, because this is technology, but this is old. You know what I'm saying? Some of us will do like we should, and we will store, and we will keep certain things like this. So when our kids or our grandkids or our great grandkids say, "Daddy, what's a book?" Or, "Grandpa, what's a book?" I'm gonna be able to go to my little library and be like, "Oh, this is a book. Actually, this one's written by me. I'll let you have it for $15. You know, actually $1,500 because it's rare, because they don't make these anymore." You know what I'm saying? As long as we understand how and why we drive innovation, it's all good. See, but now I'm gonna challenge you on that. Right? I was listening to Neil deGrasse Tyson. You know who I'm talking about, the black astrophysicist, and you really got to check out. I'm gonna post it up. It's this young brother called Marcus Brownlee, and Marcus Brownlee built up a whole business around tech on the internet. Then slap him in the head so he can learn via osmosis. That's right. You know what I'm saying? By that time, they probably will be learning by osmosis. But anyway, Neil deGrasse Tyson go through this whole lesson where he talks about research. You know what I'm saying? Exploration for the sake of exploration, because you go in looking for something, for one thing, and oftentimes what happens is it opens up, in a sense, for lack of a better term, a Pandora's box where other innovations come off because other people look at your research and be like, "Well, damn, we could use this for that." You know what I'm saying? You're right. Real estate investment will always exist, but it's getting more difficult to flip and make it go, "Oh yeah." You know what I'm saying? And it is debt driven. And because shit, we do need the real estate invest, but like I said, we got a dude in the White House whose whole mind state is about piling on debt. You build up the debt. You know what I'm saying? You use debt to finance the deal, right? You put more debt into it by fixing up the house, and then you sell that debt, and you move on to the next project. And this is the mind state, because he's not even just doing it houses. He's doing actual large buildings where he starts off with large amounts of debt, invests large amounts of debt into the building, and then he sells off the debt. So when somebody whose mind state is like that, how they gonna run government? Because government is designed to help the people. It's not about building up. You know what I'm saying? It's not about flipping. You know what I'm saying? I understand that, but that is driven by looking for one thing and another discovery jumps out. Okay, I'm gonna let you go on that, big brother, because you probably slamming your hand on the table, and I don't appreciate you slamming your hand because I hear it all the way on this side of town. You know what I'm saying? I'm just messing with you, but y'all, hey, so we finished the toast. We lift up the glass to you. I salute you with your beautiful, magnificent self, and we say Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. I wish you peace, power, joy, and of course 100 years, family. Y'all have a great day. Just thinking about this brew. All right, I'm gonna stop it from going older. So family, I'm out. Y'all have a great day. Peace out, Facebook. What's up, Miss Heather? Welcome. I hope you caught it this time. I hope you was just quiet in the background, because I'm about to go and get off. But I understand, if I'm correct, in Chicago's an hour behind, right? Or is it? Yeah, but All right, but we out. Peace out, fam. All right. Spreaker, iHeartRadio. This is Gye-Nyame Journey, and we are out.